wonderful students. I hope you are enjoying yourself at home. Please stay safe. Okay, you are welcome to mathematics class, the most interesting and the simplest subject in the world. Where today we are going to look at the solution to Waec sample questions. The mathematics aspect of it, we are going to solve those questions. I am sure I saw many of you submitted, but many of you did not submit the Waec sample questions. I'm not too happy about that. Please try as much as possible to lay your hands on all the subjects, because that is the format that Waec is going to follow. Okay? So now let us solve those questions as a kind of a correction for all of you that you have attempted the questions. Okay? Now, let's start with question 1. Question 1, say if log, you are given log s base 10 equals to 0.7549 and log y base 10 given as 0.3285. Then we are then asked to find log xy base 10. This is what they asked us to find. Now, if you look at this question, you find that this log xy, this is a product. And remember your law of logarithm, the multiplication aspect. The multiplication of logarithm says that log xy base 10 is going to be additive. That is log s base 10 plus log y base 10. This is how you first express it when it is products. If it is division, then we change to subtraction. Okay, what is log s base 10? You are given that to be 0.7549 plus 0.3285. Okay, now when you add this together, you are going to have 1.0834. Though that is the option is not in the question, but we have something similar to that, which is 1.0826. So we go for this option C. Okay. Now number 2, we have convert. We have to convert 13.02 base 5 to base 10. We have to convert this to base 10. Of course, this is a decimal point. When you are doing that in decimal point, when you have a decimal number, that is, this whole number part is starting with 0, 1 from the right hand side. Why this? Anything after a decimal point must be minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and so on and so forth. So take note of that. Okay, I saw many of you making mistakes in this question. It's very simple. So when they give you a decimal numbers, just start the first decimal number with minus 1, minus 2. That is the power of the base. And this is the base 5. So we now have this one to be 1 times, the first number here is 1 times the base 5, the power here is 1, plus 3 multiplied by 5, raised to power 0, plus, forget about the decimal point, just continue with what you are doing, is 0 multiplied by 5, raised to power minus 1, plus 2 multiplied by 5, raised to power minus 2. So 1 times 5 here is already 5, plus 3 times, take note, anything raised to power 0 here is 1. So this is 3 times 1. So we can say this is 3 plus 0 multiply anything is 0. That one has gone. So we have 2 times 5 raised to power minus 2 is 1 over, this is negative index. So 1 over 5 raised to power 2. So we are going to have 8. We are going to have 8 plus 2 over, now 5 square will give us 25. So we can say this is 8 plus 2 over 25 will give us 0. I think that will give us 0.08. So by the time you add together, we are going to have 8.008. And that is what option? That is option A. So it's a very simple question. So they want to confuse you with the negative, with the decimal numbers. It's a very simple thing. So take note. when you have a decimal number, you start the first decimal number, the first number after decimal point, you start with -1, -2. But from the whole number part, it will be 0, 1, and so on and so forth like that. Okay? Now number 3. We have 3 raised to the power x plus 1 into 2 raised to the power x minus 1 over 2 raised to the power minus 1 into 6 raised to the power x. That is what we have. Now this is exponential functions. That is, they are functions that are carrying powers. Okay, they are carrying power. We call them exponential functions. So this is 3 raised to the power x plus 1 times 2 raised to the power x minus 1 over 2 raised to the power minus 1 times 6. You can further break 6 to 2 times 3. Everything now raised to the power x. Okay, that is what you need, because if you look at other numbers here, we have 2 here, we have 3 here. So this 6 can still be further broken into 2 times 3, so that you can later merge it together with any of them. So we now have 3 raised to the power x plus 1 times 2 raised to the power x minus 1 over 2 raised to the power minus 1 times, this is 2 raised to the power x times 3 raised to the power x. Don't forget law of physics says that a times b raised to the power c is equal to a raised to the power c times b raised to the power c. Okay, so these numbers inside we share from the power outside individually. That is the same thing we have done here. Now we can bring them together. This one can be 3 raised to the power x plus 1 over 3 raised to the power x. Then bring this one also together as 2 raised to the power x minus 1 over this one and this one can come together as 2 raised to the power minus 1 times 2 raised to the power x. Are you with me now? So we can apply our law of indices here. This 3 raised to the power x can come up and become negative. That is 3 raised to the power x plus 1 divided by, okay, let's make it like this, divided by 3 raised to the power x, then times 2 raised to the power x minus 1. Okay, divided by, that is divided by 2 raised to the power. This one can come together when they are multiplying and they are of the same base. What do you do to the powers? You add them. So this is x or minus 1 plus x. Okay, so we can now have something like this as 3. If it is division, when they are dividing and they are of the same base, you know you subtract. So x plus 1 minus x. We are going to have x plus 1 minus s times, pick one base 2 here again, then you are subtracting. If you are also dividing the same thing, you are going to subtract this. So this is going to be x minus 1 minus into another minus 1 plus x. So x and minus x can go here. We have 3 raised to the power 1 here times 2 raised to the power x minus 1 here. Minus here will be plus 1, then minus x. So minus x and this one will go. Minus 1 and plus 1. So we have 0 here. So finally we are going to have 3 raised to the power 1, which is 3 times 2 raised to the power 0. Anything raised to the power 0 is 1. So we have 3 times 1. Our answer is 3. And that is one option. That is option B. You understand now? So they are very simple questions. Now, going to number 4. Number 4. What does the question number 4 says? I think the question is talking about shares. Talking about shares. Say a bonus issue of ordinary shares on the basis of 3 new shares for every 5 held. The question says that for every 5 held, there is a bonus of 3 new shares given. So 3 new shares will be given for every 5. And this person bought total shares we are talking about here. Total shares in this question is 75,000 shares. And the question says that for every 5 new shares, every 5 shares taken or bought, there is an extra new share given. So times 3, every 5 times 3, every 5 times 3. If you buy 10 shares, that 10 will be divided by that 5, then we now multiply by 3. That means 3 in 2 places. 5 is 3, another 5 is another 3, that is 6. So the same now, buying 75 shares means it's going to be new increase. According to the question, that would now be 75,000 naira. For every 5 boards, then you have to multiply by 3. So 5 here 1, 5 is 75, you have 1, 2 here, so you have 15,000 shares times 3 as the bonus. So that's going to give us 45,000. And that is option 45,000 is option C. Okay? So that's it. Now, number 5. The question says I should find the equation of the line which is perpendicular. Which is perpendicular to y equals to x over 3. And which passes through the points. We are given points 1, 3. Okay? Now this is coordinates geometric question. Okay? There are lines that are perpendicular to each other. When 2 lines are perpendicular, each line must have its own gradients. Let's say this line is M1. Then the second line here, call this one line 2, call this one line 1. So every line has its gradients. Take note of that. So the first gradient is M1, the second gradient is M2. We are told that they are perpendicular to each other. There is a condition for this. When 2 lines are perpendicular to each other, take note. Their gradient, the second gradient is always minus 1 over the first gradient. This is the condition for perpendicularity. At times, in another question, they will tell you that they are parallel to each other. If they are parallel, it means the condition will be M1 equals to M2. Please take note. But the question now is telling us that the gradients are what? They are perpendicular. So this is the condition for perpendicularity. But in the question again, we need to look at the form of the question. This is the standard equation of a straight line. Y equals to ms plus c. And the equation of a straight line must be of this form. That is, we must look at it as y equals to 3s plus 4. Something like this now. So if you now compare with the standard, which you say y equals to ms plus c, it means the coefficient of x is our gradient. So the coefficient of x here is 3. So our m is 3 here. And the intercept, this c means intercept. So it means our intercept is 4. The intercept is that line where the gradient, is the point where the straight line touches the y-axis. Okay, that's what we call the intercept. So when you are given an equation, you must be able to compare with the standard. Now they gave us y equals to x over 3. You can see that means that there is no c. If you look at it, there is no c. It must come in this form, 3x plus 4. Something x plus a number. But now, there is nothing here, which is 0. And we have to bring down the real coefficient of x. So you can rewrite the equation as 1 over 3x. You see the same thing as x over 3. Then plus what? 0. Now compare with the standard. The standard says y equals to ms plus c. Automatically, this is our gradient. So our m1 from the question now is 1 over 3. Do you understand now? That is our m1. So what is m2? The question asks us to find the equation of the straight line that will be perpendicular to this line, whose gradient is 1 over 3. So what we now do is that we now say that tell them that for perpendicularity, when 2 lines are perpendicular, m2 equals to minus 1 over m1. And that means that minus 1 over, what's our m1? Our m1 is 1 over 3. So which means that our m2 will now be minus 1 times, then we have 3 over 1. So our m2 now becomes minus 3. This is what we are going to use in our equation. So equation, how to form that equation will now be y minus y1 equals to m into x minus x1. This is the real equation that we use to get whatever we want to get. So it is not there for you to know your m. Is your m parallel or perpendicular? That is why we have this. And this y1 and x1 are the points you must be given. That is the point that line is passing through. So it's passing through point 1, 3. Point 1, 3 means this is s1 and this is y1. Please take note of that. Point 1, 3 means the first number is always s1 and the second number is always y1. So when we substitute this into this, we are going to have this our new equation. So this is our n2. Now y minus what's our y1? That is 3 equals to what's our m2? The new m minus 3 into x minus our x1, the first point. This y and x are fixed. They are the one that will form the equation of that line. So this is going to be y minus 3 equals to minus 3x minus 3 times, this is what, plus 3. So we have y minus 3. Sorry. Now we can take that to that side. We have y equals to minus 3x plus 3. Y minus 3 goes to the other side. It becomes what? Plus 3. So we have y equals to minus 3x plus 6. And that can be found in which option? That can be found in option